Hello, hello, my name's Jiggly Pants, and welcome back to another episode here on our Survival Let's Play world. How's everybody doing? You doing good? I know you're doing good, because I'm doing good. um, yeah, we're back, another episode here, episode 16. We're moving along in this series quite a bit. We have, quite a bit done here, a lot of building done, a lot of farms done, but there is one thing we don't have done yet, and it's been on our chopping block, our things to do board for quite some time, and that is a wool farm. We're finally getting to it. Today's the day. We're building a wool farm. Every time I do one of these builds and I need like half a stack of light gray wool, I'm running around and I'm shaving these guys out in the wild, and I don't think they like it. So we're gonna build them a nice secluded place so they can get shaved. What am I even saying? But yes, we're gonna be working on a wool farm. So far we've been doing a lot of our building over here. At least a lot of our big building. We've been doing some building down in our little cave system, but mostly it's been up here. But we kind of ran into a bit of a roadblock, which is a big roadblock because it's a mountain that we have to clear. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to procrastinate it. And we're actually going to build our wool farm over here. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good flat spot for it. Flat in terms of if we go above the trees, there's no mountains in the way. I got a little bit of a weird like Matica thing going on there. Don't worry about that. But yeah, this is where we're going to be putting our wool farm. It's actually going to be quite large. It's going to probably stretch from about that lava pool to about where those trees are, and then all the way back up to about here. Not all just for wool. I don't need millions and millions of blocks of wool, but just to make it look pretty, we're going to stretch it out a bit. So, we have a lot to do. I've done a little bit of build prep, which is always nice. I haven't build prepped everything. I'll show you guys just a quick little tidbit of what I got. I got this stuff here. I got this. I got that. I got nothing in there. So we're kind of prepped. We're jiggly prepped, and that's what counts. But yeah, I think we're gonna hop right into a little bit of a build montage here, just so I can get some blocks down on the ground, and just so that we can see the footprint of what this thing's gonna look like. So super fast build montage commencing. We kept the same color palette as the other side where we were doing a bunch of those cliffs and stuff with Mr. Bones, and then our cactus farm and all over there with just the moss and then splotches of lime green terracotta and normal green terracotta, minus the cliff parts. We didn't do any rocks or anything fancy like that. Just kept it simple. Lots and lots of moss and terracotta. I think it was like 13 boxes of moss ultimately, like maybe 13 and a half boxes, and I think about 4 boxes of lime green terracotta, and then a box of green terracotta that went into this. You can kind of see on the left there, I have some weird squiggles of moss going on, and then there's a little bit on the right side as well. That's where we're going to be putting some wheat fields in, so that's why it looks a little goofy there. But yeah, this actually took me not as long as I thought. It was quite the grind to get this all down, and by the end of this time lapse, I don't even have all of it down because I had to get some more moss, but it didn't take me as long. It wasn't too bad. I did stream it. I had some good company while I was building, so that's always appreciated. But yeah, we're coming up here on the end of what I got done on the live stream. I did do a little bit more and got it a little bit more finished up, but I'll show you guys that in a second here. So here we go. Big reveal number 1. This is how much we have done. This has taken me a bit of time, about 2 full streams, I would say, of progress. We have all of the moss and lime green terracotta put in. We have this pathway all sorted out with the slabs and everything. And then we've started working on wheat fields here. There's a couple holes and stuff. Don't worry about that. Those are supposed to be there. You'll see in a bit. But yeah, we've started working on our wheat fields. These are pretty grindy, honestly. You wouldn't expect a wheat field to be super crazy grindy, but they are. The main reason is the scale of it. Like, this is 13 and a half boxes of dirt. So that means 13 and a half boxes of seeds. And that's really what's holding me up is the seeds. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, just break a bunch of grass. That's tedious. So I'm going to show you guys. Oh, 1 second. Let's look at that. That's just beautiful. I love that. Oh my, that build's so good. But I'll show you guys how I get all my seeds, because I thought that's kind of cool and neat. So we're going to head over to what we worked on last episode, which was this area down here. I think I titled it the Purple Pit, because it is a pit and it's purple. But this is where we're going to be putting our villagers in. In terms of our villagers, not a whole lot has gone on, if I'm being honest. A little bit of lag when I get over here. I don't know why. But we have 3 villagers. So, not a whole lot of progress, but we're getting there. But that's not what I wanted to show you guys over here. What I wanted to show you was this. This is just a little hole in the wall that I made. It is a micro farm. The way it works is there's 3 dispensers here, all filled with bone meal. And then there's a piston on top, there's some redstone, there's an observer, and then behind this stair block is a piece of farmland. So when we flip this lever, this piston extends a whole bunch, and then we take some seeds, and there's a bit of a sweet spot that we gotta hit. I think it's like right there. And we just stand here and hold right click for however long we want, and we gather up a bunch of seeds, and then we get a bunch of wheat. This farm will work for other things like carrots, beetroots, potatoes, that kind of thing. I just gotta sleep real quick because it's getting dark out. So yeah, that's how I farm up all my seeds, and then the way I place them is I put a stack of seeds in my offhand, I get my hoe, I go down to the dirt here, and I do something a little controversial. I take off my pants. I am now pantsless. I'm just Jiggly. But yeah, then I shift right click and I place all the seeds. The reason why I have to take off my pants is because I have Swift Sneak on, and if I have Swift Sneak on, I go way too fast and I miss blocks, and it's kind of annoying because then I go back trying to fix it and I trample it. Yeah. And I didn't put any water in any of this. As you can see, there's no water sources. Little known fact, you can actually just grow plants without water. The water just keeps the land tilled. So as long as you don't break the wheat, it's fine. So I do this for a bit of time until I run out of seeds in my offhand, and then I manually have to restock it. So yeah, this is going to take me quite some time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I really do enjoy it. I'm a bit of a grind enthusiast, so this kind of project is perfect for me. I just kind of go along, shut my brain off, and go about my business. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this for probably about a day, and I'll see you guys when that's all done. So it's been about a day, and this is what we have. The wheat is not done. The wheat is a big thing. But we got some trees in. We got our bushes in. Yeah, I would say we've got about a third left to do of this field. My problem right now is I ran out of bone meal, so I've been having to kind of cannibalize part of the wheat field to get more seeds, and yeah, it's slow going, but we'll get there. I thought, well, we're kind of putting along on that. Why don't we just skip ahead a bit and work on the next part of this, and that is the actual sheep farm itself. So the sheep farm is going to go down in this hole that we have. It's not really a hole. It's still above the normal Minecraft terrain, but below my terrain. So this kind of empty void space. We're going to put it down in there on top of that grass. We already got some sheep going, but we need some redstone. So we're going to go grab some stuff from our storage here. So quick little redstone grab here. And I think this is everything we're going to need. I could be wrong. I could be forgetting something. But I don't think so. I think this is it. Dispensers instead of droppers there. Got some extra blocks, glass, all of our hopper mine carts so we can collect all of our wool. So we're going to be building kind of like little chambers for our sheep to go into. And it's just going to be duplicated 16 times because there's the 16 different colors. So we'll just start off with the first one here. I think what we have to do is put down our redstone box, get our observer. We're going to have the sheep be on this grass block. So we want to observe when they eat that grass, because when they eat the grass is when hello, Mr. Zombie. When they eat the grass is when their wool grows back. So we want to detect that. And then once we detect that, we want a dispenser to fire to shear them immediately. So we'll put the dispenser like right there. And then we'll put redstone dust right on top of that. So imagine I'm a sheep and I eat the grass, and that redstone dust fires the dispenser, which in turn shears the sheep, and then our grass slowly grows back. Then we're going to have a bit of a glass holding container so our sheep doesn't run away, because that would be bad. And then directly underneath of this, we are going to have our collection. So for our collection, we're just going to have a double chest like this, and then a hopper going into the double chest with a rail, and then maybe we block that off. Then we take our hopper minecart and we plop it right there. So that way anything that lands inside of this little container gets picked up. Just like that. And then we can see goes down into our double chest here. And now we have to get one of these guys. Who wants to be a guinea pig? Anybody? Anybody? I'm gonna take this guy right here because he's the closest. There we go. First sheep acquired. We're gonna unlead him. Break that, break that. More zombies. Nice. And we're gonna take our lead. And now, I almost forgot the most important part. We have to get some shears. So our sheep is in, our shears are in. Now we just have to wait for Mr. Sheep to get hungry. Which it looks like he just was while I was away. But, yeah, let's have a look here. Yeah, we already got 7 wool. I might need to do some lighting up in some of these spots, because it's kind of dangerous. Ooh. But yeah, so now we're just going to copy this 16 times and do one for each of the colors, and then we should be set. So there we go. I did one for each of the 16 colors. I got them all labeled up. We can see it's working nicely here. And now we shouldn't have a wool problem or ever, hopefully. It is a small kind of farm for what's going to be such a big build, but that's okay. I am planning on maybe putting some other things down here, like maybe a cow farm over here, maybe have some pigs, maybe another chicken farm, kind of all of our little animals down in this area as we grow and expand it. But this was the most important one to me so far, so I wanted to get this one in as quick as possible. But now, I think we're going to move on to actually building the building that's going on top of here. So if you haven't guessed it already, or if you've forgotten what the thumbnail looks like, we're going to be building a barn. And this barn is going to be quite large, as you can tell. by the kind of footprint. But we're also going to have some other things sticking off the barn. Like we're going to have some pipes. We're going to have a silo in the back there. We're going to have a big telephone pole. We're going to have like a little windmill generator thing over here. Some hydro lines going across. It's going to look cool. I'm excited for it. I really think it's going to fit in with our other builds here. It's going to be less fantasy like this one over here and more kind of fantasy dystopian, kind of like how we have Mr. Bones over here and this vent thing. I still don't know what that's called, but yeah, we're gonna get to going on that. I don't know, or I do know I'm not gonna be doing a time lapse. Sometimes I feel like they're a little redundant, and this is gonna be quite the difficult build. It's not going to be super straightforward where I'm just placing down 3 types of blocks like the moss and doing the landscape and that kind of thing. It's going to be a lot of back and forth to my storage room, a lot of grabbing 2 or 3 of one type of block and then placing them. So I'm just going to get to some building. What I am going to do is I'm going to live stream it. So if anybody's super interested in seeing me build it, definitely go check out a VOD of me building on my channel because they get posted automatically. And yeah, I'll see you guys maybe with an update, maybe with a done product. I don't know. We'll see. So it is done. The build is complete. It was quite the grind. It was something. It was a lot of placing a couple layers, running out of a certain type of block, having to go farm that block, and then come back and place a couple more layers. I think total it was about 100,000 blocks altogether, counting terrain, counting wheat, counting the barn itself, all that kind of stuff. I actually had to get a new mouse while I was building. The old one finally kicked the bucket, so you might hear some clicking in the background. I tried to get a quiet mouse, but those are not a thing apparently. But yeah, without further ado, boom, there she is, the barn. Uh, I'm loving it. I've been spending. I finished this last night, and I've just kind of been standing here for about 45 minutes, just oogling over it. Even last night after I finished, I was just kind of staring at it a whole bunch. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this for a little bit here. I'm gonna throw up a reference image I used while I was building it. I'm gonna get you guys right now my favorite view of the build, which is right here, I believe. Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah, this is the build. There's a lot going on. We have, starting from left to right, obviously we got some trees in the far left there that help frame the build a little bit. They're not quite as tall, so they don't do a really good job of framing, but they give some kind of visual interest off to the side. The real framing comes in once we get to the telephone pole there. Big, large structure on the left-hand side to kind of focus our view inwards onto the actual barn itself. Um, the barn itself, I'm loving it. The colors, the texture on it. My big struggle was how do I make it look like a barn without making it bright red? Um, so, looking at the reference image here, I pulled a lot of the same colors from that. A lot of the grays, some of the blues from the metal, and then a lot of the rust colors, those reds, those splotches, um, those splotches of red in there, and that kind of thing, as well as some weathering. You can see there's some little hints of green that I threw into my build as well, just some moss on a bit of the edges and stuff. Makes it tie in real nicely. We got the silo in the back, not a whole lot going on with that. Just a little bit of streaking and weathering with some of the tans, I guess you would call that. And then the futuristic sci-fi-ness, dystopian kind of that big pipe coming out of the silo there. You can see that actually in the reference image. if you look closely on the silo that's there, there's a little bit of a pipe coming out the top. So I kind of exaggerated it a bit and made it a feature throughout the whole thing. And then we have our wind turbine generator thingy mabobber. I don't really know. I wanted to do some kind of windmill because I thought classic um, farm mill wind turbine, but definitely bring it more into dystopian modern era. So I thought a generator instead of a grindstone kind of thing. Um, I then used it to kind of tie together the build with a lot of those like hanging fence lines kind of from the generator, and then obviously this big hydro line that cuts across the entire build there to kind of pull it all together. Capped it off with a couple more trees on the other right side there, and yeah, I'm very happy with this. Looking at the reference image that I found after examining it a bunch, definitely pulled the shape of the build from there. Definitely pulled some color from there, but I don't actually think the reference image is a barn. I think it is a old mill, like a wood mill, lumber mill. That's what I'm trying to think of. You can kind of tell by there's like a big pulley wheel thing at the very front of the picture, and then there's like this big hanging belt. I think that was kind of used to transport the logs up into the mill. Um, but nevertheless, still a great reference. Um, that going said, if that being said, not that going said, I'm stumbling over my words here. I'm excited, but that being said, the references that you guys use, you don't necessarily need to have the perfect reference. As long as it's an image that you can pull ideas from um, and make it work in your own way, that's more than perfect. I'm just going to get you guys another angle so you can kind of see more of the shape that I pulled from the reference. That definitely the left side being a little bit taller with the slanted roof and then the silo in the back. Um, but yeah, I'm loving this. This is quite the build. Um, there is some more things that I kind of want to do with this. Maybe add a little bit more into the wheat fields here. Maybe some hay bales and that kind of thing. Maybe put a fence around the edge with some more bushes, kind of making a bit of a hedgerow that encompasses the wheat field here. Some grass. We're missing grass. Also, oh, these guys. These guys don't need to be here. Also, those blue and yellow spotches of color we need to add in. I just basically put down the moss and the terracotta and said it was good for now. Just so we get some blocks in the shape of it all in, but definitely need to go and put some more texture and interest into it because it is looking fairly sterile. Uh, but yeah, I'll give you guys kind of like a full round. The front here is definitely more detailed than the back and the far side, but I still feel like it's pretty good. It holds its own. Let's get a little better view here. Yeah, I think the back holds its own. You can see more of the streaks on the silo there. This side still got texture on it and everything. That pipe just kind of comes from nowhere, which is a-okay, it's fine. Little details I threw into this as it's kind of getting nighttime here. These little weird step scaffolding things with a bunch of fences. Up close, they kind of look a little goofy. They don't really make a whole lot of sense. But from a distance, they add a little bit of chaos, and I like that. You can see that also down here. I added those in here as well. I'm going to go sleep, just so we can get a good view of this. But yeah, at a distance, you see those little scaffolding things. I think they look really, really cool. Um, on the roof to make it look kind of older and decrepit. I did these weird, not weird, but kind of like broken roof sections with planks and logs and fence gates. Kind of look like the roof's kind of crumbling and falling apart. I also added some purple slime that's coming out of the pipe and out of the silo. I thought that was kind of cool. Add a little pop of color in there. Um, More roof decay here. Um, for chimneys, I didn't go super crazy because it is a barn, but it's always pretty neat when you add little chimneys. I find 2 or 3 is the perfect number. One always taller, a smaller one a little bit farther back. I added it again on the windmill generator thing. Um, yeah, just 2 or 3 little chimneys splotted around. They don't really need a rhyme or a reason to where they're sitting. Just as long as they're different heights or thicknesses. At a distance, they really add just that little cherry on top, I find. I'll show you guys in a second here. But yeah, that little cherry on top, that looks kind of good. This one's a little cut off from this angle because of that hydro line thing, but I think it looks cool. I think what really makes this build stand out is the color, the use of color. This blue and into the grays is a little bit unconventional, especially when you're building a barn. You don't think a barn would be blue. Most people think the cliche white borders, red, and we got a little bit of that. We have the white border around the doorway there, and then we get the streaks of red and the tones of red. But to kind of make it really stand out and pop and give it a little bit more interest to the eye, definitely that blue in there. But yeah, that's just me rambling on a whole bunch. There is some more to do. We do have an interior we got to get to at some point. I don't think I'm going to be working on that in this episode, but we have this big blank space in here that we can do a nice little interior, maybe some horse stables or figure something out, maybe a loft with some hay storage and that kind of stuff. And then down below as well, this is going to eventually be covered up by a floor, but this is really going to be where our bread and butter of the barn is, with all our sheep and our other wool farm, our not our other wool farms. We have our wool farm, our other animal farms and stuff. I had to take the mic away from that guy because he just won't stop talking. But yeah, with that, I think we can safely say wool farm is done, and we can take it off the board there. Um, but yeah, what's to come on the channel in the future here? Um, Definitely some more farms and builds here. I have lots of ideas that I want to put block to world on in this world. That was kind of cringy. I don't know why I said it like that, but like pen to paper, but block to world. You get it. Yeah. Um, Lots of ideas, lots of horizons still to fill. Um, Lots of cool, neat things to show you guys. Also, maybe I've been thinking about a couple more games. Maybe try out some different things here on the channel. Um, Maybe have some cool stream nights with some friends and that kind of thing. Play some games that are not Minecraft, where we can just kind of have fun and have a good time. Not that I don't have fun here. I have lots of fun here. But just to mix it up a little bit, get some variety on the channel, I think. Um, Also, while I was building the Chaos Cube update, I think that's what it's called, Sulfur Cube thingy with the Sulfur Caves, that came out just yesterday, so I have lots of ideas for that. I do play with a couple mods here, but most of them are just for building and that kind of thing, so we don't have to worry about mods being updated in time. So I think next episode we're going to check that out. I have a lot of cool ideas with the geysers that I want to try out, and then with the cubes themselves. I'm not as excited for the new blocks, like the yellow and the red, the sulfur and the crimson. I think they're great. The red would have probably helped me out here, a bit, but I'm not super stoked about those. I'm more stoked about the mechanics of it all. But yeah, as the moon rises, we'll get a bit of a nighttime shot of this build for a little bit here. But yeah, that's about all I have for you guys. If you guys stuck through this one, stuck through all my rambling, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys very much. Thank you. Um, if you're new here, maybe consider subscribing. Like I said, I got lots of ideas that I still want to bring to fruition here and share with you guys. And yeah, it's free, and you can always change your mind in the future. If you guys can't tell, I don't know how to end this one, so bye bye.